I've been in craps dealing class for the past 5 weeks. Dice. So I haven't got to play much over the board, but I'm returning to over the board. Woke up this morning to register for Sunday games, but it was canceled, likely due to professional events, which should take precedent over little old me. I want to see the best athletes in America. Best. All right, well, if I can't play the nation's top players, the very best, that's pretty cool. Many find chess boring. Hard to get it on TV for sure compared to American football, basketball, other sports chess would be competing against, but the very best. All right, let's see who the very best are. Yeah, she's good. Caruana, number 1. Okay, let's just put it in Excel. He's third. Hikaru Nakamura's not playing, I guess. Which is a shame because I wanted to see the best athletes. And Hikaru was 1 or 2. Hans Niemann, at his peak, the 15th best player on the planet, should go 1, 2, right there. That's where he should go. Should be Hans Niemann. 2735. Make sure I got that order correct. Looks like. Okay. I don't play around in Excel much anymore, but if we are sorting, I want it to be from largest to smallest. It would appear to be. The number should not change. Okay. And none of them move, so it's correct. It's largest to smallest. Yep, Hans Niemann should be number 4, since Hikaru Nakamura is not playing. Otherwise, he'd be 5. So that's your 4th one. That's your 4th best. And I don't know if Caruana was born in America. I'm assuming he was born in Italy. Wesley So surely wasn't born in America. Lanier Dominguez surely wasn't born in America. Levon Aronian is Armenian. And then we get into some American-born athletes. And grateful to have them, just like we're grateful to have Caruana as an exception. Just like Luka Doncic in basketball, Wemby. Please keep them here. They're the best in the world. But when it's Olympic time, they're trying to kill America because they're not Americans. Those are not Americans. That's an American. So the any events, and it's not my club, they can do whatever they want. They'll just never grow the game that way. Not in America. They can be the chess capital of the world, but not America. Arguably Italian, though. That's fair. I mean, Italian American. American, yeah, sure, but still, Wesley So's probably more so. But from what I gather, at least two. Developed, lost, won. Might even be more loyal or more prideful toward their countries of origin. It's an American. He's getting a spot taken. Not because I like him or want to be his friend. I don't know. Maybe I would. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if he sees my content as Dayton, you're a fucking idiot. You have no potential in chess. If Hans Niemann hates me, what a disgrace to chess. Dayton says fuck. Well, I don't want Dayton's attitude around. That's fine. Because I wanted to watch the best American athletes compete. And Hans Niemann's the fourth. He's young. Not even in his prime yet. And once he gets to his prime, he is the only American chess athlete who can compete with India's super grandmasters. And they have a lot of them, and they're all young. He's right at their level. You keep fucking him over, and he won't be able to keep up. Eventually, he won't have all that energy that we have when we're 22. And all that stress won't be a motivator. It will be a deterrent eventually. Not about if I like him or not. Who's the fourth best of the willing candidates? Assuming Hikaru Nakamura declined and assuming Hans Niemann didn't decline, I'm assuming he wasn't invited. Hans Niemann's your fourth best American athlete, so it's not the best athletes in America competing. And even if Hans Niemann were a prick, and you could prove that, the biggest prick to ever play chess in America, the most outspoken, the most hateful toward women, and Hans Niemann doesn't appear to be sexist or mean toward women, except for those who pretended to be his friend and made anal beads jokes. The biggest asshole, most unpredictable, complained about everything. Ever to play chess, but definitely to play chess in America. The only reason America has much chess history is because Bobby Fischer went alone and he kicked the shit out of the Russian machine by himself. By himself. After Fischer, I don't think we had anyone that would have been in the top 20 in Russia. And they had all those athletes plotting against him, along with arguably the best player in the world at the time, Spassky. And all he did was slaughter them. It wasn't even close. He murdered them by himself, not sleeping probably. He was a lunatic. He was a madman. And the Russians are doing everything right as a team, prepping. Got your back. Here's his weakness. Maybe. He fixed that. He's too smart. He doesn't have a fucking weakness. Shit. He's amazing. And all we can do is clap for him. We have every resource, all the support of our country. America doesn't care. And all he did was kill him by himself. And you're going to fucking ban Hans Niemann. Because Magnus Carlsen insinuated so. It's sad. I gave an Uber ride to a girl slightly younger than me, probably, during the COVID era. She was going to be a lawyer, without giving personal details, in part because I don't remember, and I never remember names, nor would I share them. Some bad things happened to her in her upbringing. She wanted to be a lawyer to ensure people can get justice, even if they don't come from money. And she seemed very sharp. My advice to her, I asked her if she wanted it. It's great that you have a mission. Do you understand you can make more money if you go on the corporate side and defend shitheads? She said, absolutely. I said, are you prepared to fight people like that for a living? Knowing they have more resources, sometimes you'll lose to a lawyer who's not as bright as you and certainly doesn't have as good a heart as you. Can you handle that? She said, I think so. I said, okay, well, make sure you draw your line now, because if they realize you're good, corporate will try to steal you. If you start beating them, I'm sure if they can get their hands on you and have you on their side, they'll pay you 3 times as much. So you remember your mission, and you're not wrong for joining them. We all got to make money. But draw your line now. And as soon as you think you have to cross it a little bit, if it's one case that when you started, you said, I would never do that to somebody, but it's not exactly, there's parts of it that, okay, maybe I see their point. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't have taken that when I was 25 in that Uber ride with the stranger who asked too many questions. You better not take one, because it'll be easier to take the second, and then the ask will get greater. Then you'll be the biggest snake in corporate America. Not that they're all snakes, or the majority of them are, but you'll be the worst of them. And it starts with that first case you accept, that when you were a kid working your ass off in law school, why am I doing this? Why am I studying so hard? Whatever motivated you, you said, that's my line, I won't do it. As soon as it's crossed it all, you don't just say no or I'll think about it. You say, fuck you. Fuck everyone associated with you. Don't ever speak to me again, and you run the other way, or you will become a slime bag. And I said it about like that to a nice person. Who had a good heart, probably hadn't seen bad parts of the world, nor have I, but a nice person. Didn't seem to have a mean bone in her body aside from what she would have to do in order to defend her clients. And you will be just like them. That first ask is not that bad. And they kind of got you. And you kind of got yourself. And the next ask will be worse until you finally say, maybe I should stop. And now you've already got a trail of shit you've done. Now, I'm no angel. And I wasn't that good in school to where I had everybody wanting me. So the line was kind of drawn for me. The decision was kind of made for me during COVID lockdown. That's not my path. Okay, well, since it's not, maybe I wish I would have been kind of a snake. It's an easy life, especially when you have it as a young person. Oh, I got it made. I can go to Manhattan, fly out to see a friend, and I did that. After COVID's over, I can fly to Spain. I got the money to do that. PTO days to do that. When you're spoiled so young and you haven't learned to fend for yourself. I didn't grow up in the rough parts of a big city. I'm not an entrepreneur. No, you ain't leaving. You ain't leaving. But if there were a time to leave, it would be while you're young, because it will get harder with every year, and every little thing that you know isn't right, but it's not I don't make the rules. It's just a system. It will get harder. And I saw good people. Man, I would never do that, Dayton. I want to be a foster parent. I don't even know that I want to be here. I don't even know because the VP, his car is in the VP parking. When I get to work, it's at 8 a.m. He's been there for probably 2 hours. At lunch, the car's still there. And when I leave to go home for the evening at 5, like most people, his car's still there. He's got a VP, he's got a sports. Yeah, okay. But I don't think I need that. 2 promotions in. We're certainly not friendly anymore because I'm a big deal and I'm on track. They change. And the only way to not change, or be pretty sure you won't change, is again, fuck you early. And since I don't have that life and opportunity anymore, I'm all about Hans Niemann. Too extreme, I know. It's not my place. And I'll still show up. I think the St. Louis Chess Club is fabulous. Their facilities are fabulous, and their staff, especially their GMs and residents, are super helpful. I'm an American. I wanted to see the best Americans play, and Hans Niemann's number 4. There are 8 contestants, and I hope Abhimanyu Mishra doesn't go to college. Though if I watched the Niemann stuff and I watched India taking care of their own, I certainly wouldn't continue to torture my brain. But he's better than 4, at least. And I would also give Hans Niemann, if it's the American Cup, priority and access over everyone but Hikaru and Fabiano. My opinion. I'm entitled to it. Got a little bit more time to correct it before he's going to be too old. Not too old to be elite. He's already elite. Give him every opportunity right now. He's 27-35. The very best in the world are Caruana, so slightly below 2,800. And Gukesh won it with a rating probably similar to Hans Niemann's. So if you play really good above your level, but you get the opportunities, some prep, some help from your country, some peace of mind so you can sleep at night that you might get sponsored once you become the best in the world. Look at what Gukesh did. Hans Niemann's that level right now. You keep fucking him. You keep taking away his opportunities. And we can all be happy and politically correct, and the Grand Chess Tour can love you. And people like me never will. Which is mainstream. It's a shame it has to be that way. Go let the number 2 during Bobby Fischer's time, which I think his name was William Evans. William Evans, peak FIDE. Bobby Fischer's peak was high 2700s, I think. Wasn't that his name? In the Pawn Sacrifice movie, when the guy who came to kind of respect Bobby and help him, he was older, and of course, when Bobby was real young, he lost to him, and then finally Bobby just killed everybody. So William Evans. Chess. No, am I thinking of the Evans Gambit? That's the wrong guy. So, Evans versus Fischer. I'm sure that's him. Evans versus Fischer. Larry Evans. That's right. I don't know if he was number 2, but he was up there. Okay, 2631. Peak rating number 30 in the world, so about probably top 5 in America, I'm sure. 2631, Bobby's peak rating. Mm-hmm. 2785. So we have 2785 versus 2631 for Spassky's peak rating. Probably in the low 2700s. 2690. Okay, so he would have beaten Larry Evans pretty handily, most likely. So Bobby Fischer, peak rating of 2785. The next best, or close to the next best in America, was Larry Evans with a peak rating of 2631. Okay. Boris Spassky, who was the Russian number 1 at the time that Bobby Fischer beat, was 2690. Less than Larry Evans, who's a little bit more appropriate, controlled his tongue a little bit better, and was more likable. All right, the Russians get him off the floor with him, and then wipe their butts with the American flag. Not inviting Hans Niemann to everything and praising his every move, worshiping the ground Hans Niemann walks on. Not doing that would have been like replacing Bobby Fischer with Larry Evans, knowing Larry Evans was going to get smoked in the 1972 World Chess Championship. With Bobby have a concussion? Is he not the best chess player on the planet anymore? Not the best American? Is that the best you got, Larry Evans? Yeah, Bobby just said some shit we didn't like. Did he hit a woman? No, women won't go near him. He's a misogynistic asshole. Bobby Fischer's talking shit on women all the time. Well, if he didn't hit one, though, I mean, it's not nice to be sexist, but we kind of want to win this one. Hans Niemann. America's only hope. I apologize to any professional athletes such as those four, and everybody, even the ones that aren't American born. I don't mean to offend you in my rants about Hans Niemann being better than you. I don't mean it that way. And Americans, Hans Niemann, myself, anyone shouldn't have to make that argument. Just have the best athletes by rating, and we all enjoy chess. Okay. I am no good at chess, but I'm 21, 23 and improving. I'll be about 2,300 and online before I kind of for this year. I got the low 2,200s in Blitz and Rapid. I can't play multiple time controls or try to peak in multiple time controls at once. I don't know why. I've heard most athletes don't struggle toggling back and forth between time controls. Many events at the higher level might even have a blitz component to it, so they might play a longer time control, even classical, and then see, I can't talk and do this shit. And then they will play blitz. It doesn't seem like the athletes are worked off in blitz because their brain is in classical mode. So I don't know, maybe I'm broken. But when I go back to rapid or faster time control, I'm telling you. Shit. Nah, it's okay. It's all right. Kinda. Not really. I can't do it. I can't go back and forth. My rapid games, I'm not thinking deeply. I'm not even playing fast. I'm just playing bullet type moves that aren't very complicated. My brain doesn't go back and forth between time controls right now. I don't know why. So I got to get my rapid. We're trying to get it back to 2,200. What is this nonsense? Okay, so you want to go there. Okay, I see. Let me give you this one. So get them both back to 2,200, and then I'm going to take my rapid to 2,300, then my blitz to 2,300, and it might take some time. You don't want to do this shit. Yeah. So I want to maintain pressure there. From here, you can play there because your queen does stuff to me. Can I move my queen in a way that touches that pawn without being able to be moved by the bishop? I can't. Does it help me if the bishop goes there? Probably. Doesn't matter. Okay. And then I can go here. So you probably don't actually want to play that bishop move, because then you got to do something like that, which would allow your rook to see some things. Let's do it. That's too fast. That's way too fast. And this is a situation from White's perspective that I think good players would have a lot of opportunities to beat my ass. Because these pawns matter a lot. I'm not saying it's a bad move, but it's very fast. And there were a lot of things to consider before we just start making bishop moves. And it is gonna be hard for me to get in there though. So I can be lazy like my opponent and just double rooks, because if I could trade one rook, it might be easier to target this. An argument can be made. My pawns are a little bit harder for the dark bishop to get than your pawns, which is why I'm going to freeze your pawns on light squares. And I'm going to make the assumption my light bishop can target your light pawns better than your dark bishop can target my dark pawns. So let's do that. Okay. Now if you push, I don't care. I don't think I care. This doesn't look good. If you push, then my job is to keep your okay. See again, if all that gets traded, so here then I can slide. I have two ways I can target the pawn. I'm pretty sure I can defend my own. If you double up on them, you get that pawn, I get that pawn. I think I'll give it to you. No, I won't. I can't. I mess this up because then you'll get this pawn too. Okay, so there. Opposite color bishops are a draw. I might have to draw this. Doesn't matter. And it keeps you from checking me. Oh, nice. That's a good move. Okay. No, I don't agree with you there. Well, really, I don't agree with that pawn push. If I did make that pawn, yeah, I don't think so. It's because now you're just so limited. I don't know what you're doing. Now I might be able to win. Huh. I gotta be close to 50, right? Yeah. What were you supposed to do there? Possibly be able to win it. So white played rook b7. I guess it's harder for me. What is it? Harder for me to get your pawn? Play rook b7. I play rook a5. Great. And then I'm bishop d5. Why? Because you can then check and then you're running. And instead of being able to take that pawn immediately, I just got to try to keep it from loading. Possibly a little bit fortunate to draw there. Some people make promises. And a bunch of sugar cookies. My aunt and uncle visited, which was awesome to see them. And I'm like, back in the day, when I was a kid and got food all the time and stuff, I used to do McDonald's, Taco Bell. I would eat about half of a batch of cookies. And it wasn't healthy, but I didn't feel bad. Like, dang, I ate half the bag. I called my aunt a few hours ago. Well, there was 2 batches of cookies because she liked the 2 different designs and wanted both designs, didn't want to choose one design. Oh, so I ate a full batch of cookies last night. That's why. That's why I feel like shit today. But I'm still eating them because they're still delicious. And they still have Easter bunnies on them, which brings back good memories. Num num. Good cookie. All right. I said I won't talk about the Narodisky stuff. In part, I didn't know the dude. It was sad because there are early videos of me hitting on Alexander Botes and jokingly hitting on Daniel Narodisky. Like, Daniel looks good there. Especially if it was a video. I guess they went to school together. So they're pretty friendly, had some content together. Like, Daniel looks nice. Daniel's looking good. In a room full of girls, which is no coincidence, more physically attractive. The biggest female streamers happen to be some of the prettier women. Not that they're bad. They're really good, actually. Really good content creators and chess players. But to make it in that world, like, yeah, there's no coincidence. Most of the biggest female streamers are pretty. I'm like, Daniel, I think he's batting his eyes there at me. And now he's dead. So there are some big YouTubers in chess that talked about the Nerdisky situation, and you should turn monetization off. I would say most of them did, but there's a few you're monetizing. So I don't know that you have a whole lot more good intentions than someone like me who doesn't know him and is just talking about the story because I don't want people to die. But the Narodisky situation, Kramnik did to Narodisky exactly what Neiman calls the chess mafia did to Hans. They did the exact same thing. They're no better than Kramnik at all. And it's hard to compare people's pain. I don't like it when, like The View, a bunch of liberal women talking on The View. I'm not saying they're bad, or I don't even know what they think. I don't listen to The View. But no, I didn't own slaves. I didn't do anything. And there are many people who happen to be African American who went to Harvard and grew up like I did or better. They had money. Not just the story of, oh, overcame adversity and a genius and I got a scholarship to Harvard. That's pretty rare. It's got to be freaking hard to do that. Their parents had money and they worked hard and they had good grades to earn it. But it's not they were underprivileged or Harvard's sitting there going, you're black. We're not going to let that. They have scholarships and grants for everyone but the straight white male. And they need to level the playing field. That's fine. But don't act like on The View, I'm always happy or haven't had a bad day in my life just because I grew up not in a mansion at all, but just a decent house. And when I was in high school, we moved to a smaller house. Still nice. But almost everyone that I knew from my old corporate job has a house about like my parents or better. So I don't. Now gunshots weren't flying in my window, granted, like some people, more so those who are not white men have to deal with. So I get it. Level the playing field. I'm not saying there isn't racism and major problems, but I shouldn't be punished, or it shouldn't be thought that I don't have bills to pay or you just don't want to start a family or anything. You can just screw me over to make up for past mistakes that I wasn't alive for. It's stupid. So to assume we know what someone's going through is a very dangerous slope, even if we're correct. Because still, even if we are correct, yeah, it's fair to say on average, in that example, a black man is going through a little bit harder things than a white man. I don't disagree with you on average. But still, if we let one person, one company, one politician make that judgment, it's very dangerous because it's not proven. It's a case-by-case thing. And then we're letting one individual decide whose pain is more significant and when it is okay to help others. That is not okay. Still, the Neiman and Narodisky, comparing those cases, just from the outside looking in, arguments could be made it was harder on Hans because it was a shock. It was, I'm on the top of the world. I just beat my role model. He didn't say Magnus Carlsen was a bad chess player or a bad dude or doesn't deserve to be a dad one day. He just did his job. And then to go from Cloud 9 to 0, which is exactly what Carlsen wanted. Every time Hans Niemann has an end game, whether it be now, then, or when Hans Niemann is playing for the world title, he wants that to be in Hans's head. Hey, you win this game, Hans. Kid, I'm your master. I'm still the big dog. You win this game, we're going to harass your fam. How many reporters are calling your mom for dirt on you? That's right. You finish off this end game. He wanted that to be in Hans Niemann's head, and what a cock. To go from Cloud 9 to that, to dealing with all the things Hans Niemann dealt with. I would argue that's a lot worse than what it would be more stressful for most people than, a long attack on your career or reputation because it's the shock. Yeah, Kramnik's at it again. What a fucking idiot. but he's been doing this to everybody. He did it to, what's that guy's name, Navarra, and a few others. The nicer grandmasters, of course, which, yeah, be nice. Yeah. We need more kindness in the world after what happened to Naroditsky. Where were people at defending him? When you're kind, you get trampled. There's just no kind people left. I don't know what happened. Yeah, they're fucking overdosed. Or learn to shut up. So Kramnik was doing it to others, but that was an attack on Hans Niemann. That was, you beat me, you don't belong in my class. He was invited to the tournament. You can get mad at St. Louis for inviting Hans to the tournament if you want to be mad at somebody. If you think you made mistakes in the past, well, you just told everyone. Prisoners that play chess, people who get into chess to cope with a breakup or divorce, or I did something stupid, I lost my job, I got into drugs, and chess helped me get out of it. All those people that look at chess as something more than a game, a second chance, and no one likes chess. It's a hard, lonely experience. People like me during COVID lockdown, what would I have done if I didn't play chess? Second chances, I could matter. For one game, I might not be able to sustain a high level of play. I didn't play as a kid. For one game, I can earn it. I can get lucky, maybe. And Magnus Carlsen said, no, you fucking can't. You did the same thing to Hans Niemann, and I feel just mentally, not just because of that, but a lot of reasons since COVID, not complaining, not going to kill myself, but completely alone and misunderstood. Because of instances like the Niemann ban. How can you have posters of Daniel Naroditsky talk about how wrong it was and not apologize to Hans Niemann and invite him to everything? If that was out of character for Daniel Naroditsky to be doing drugs, it led to his heart not working, but that's my understanding. How can you not also consider, even if Hans Niemann did bash a hotel room, which other chess players have also, they didn't get banned. How can you not consider, okay, let's say, has anyone checked on Hans Niemann? Is he, I don't think he is, of course, because his personality's been the same. He's done nothing wrong. But before he was judged, has he possibly been doing substances to cope with the wrongful treatment since 2022? Has anyone checked on him? We didn't do it. It's his fault. Okay, maybe it was harder on him than, but we're going to go write articles about how we are so sorry for Naroditsky and all he did, and he didn't deserve that. Has anyone checked on Hans Niemann to make sure he's okay? No, you're too busy buzz. Assholes. But just my own mental state. So many situations like that. How can you, in the same breath, have any empathy for what Naroditsky went through, and he deserves empathy, he deserves to be alive, and not cry and call Hans Niemann and say you're sorry, even if you dislike him? How can you have pictures of when you and Daniel Naroditsky were friends as kids, or tell stories about him? And even if you dislike Hans Niemann, it's not about liking him or not. So he didn't cheat in round 3. And if we want chess to grow, we need to get on Carlsen's ass about that. How can you do that? I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. That's fine. I'm going to play chess because I like this. And unfortunately, kind of like I talked about the lawyer, do a backflip out of there. Don't say no. Don't say you'll think about it. Don't say not this time. Do a backflip, punch the boss in the face. Don't actually do this. But what your exaggerated reaction? Because if you don't do that, okay, kind of like with pill bottles. I won't bring my pill bottle out. You don't know me. But too many people have a dependency. Let's say you have a dependency to Adderall, or I've never done painkillers, but I have had friends, and that's another reason I hate the judgment toward mental health. You don't have to care. In fact, it'd be better if you didn't, because you'll care incorrectly, which is worse than not caring, or more dangerous, I should say. You don't have to care. But some don't. They're not soft. They didn't grow up spoiled, and they just can't cope with life. Some got injured, got hit by a drunk driver. And because the pain was so intense, and possibly the stress was so intense, if it was bad enough to where you might not live through it, never mind that now. You're lucky to be alive. To think it all started you fussing with 3 guys, but your pride is the way. You mess around, get shot, dying. That's T.I. And at least if you are going to speak about mental health or men's mental health, the least you could do is consider sometimes it might have been a really good person. Yeah, I see, I'm running my mouth. I can't do this. Who got hit by a drunk driver, and that's why they like pills. There's variables, and most people don't want to consider variables. It's a little bit of thinking. I'm so fucked. Because now I've got to. God damn it, Dayton. What was that? Why are you doing that? Answer my question. I had a question for you. Use your manners. You made that move too quick. Are you about to tear me up somehow? What am I missing here? Yeah, I was going to say, why can't I just try my bishop back? Yeah, I'm going to have to push that pawn, aren't I? Shit. No, I don't. When you're here, I'll be here. Then when you're here, I'll be here. And at some point, if you don't mind to kiss my ass, that would be good. So if I'm here, I don't have time to go. Yeah, I do. It's all fine. I'll be here. So tell you what. Let me just gallop. I'm just going to gallop for a second. What's wrong? Because you'll be occupying the square you'd like to check me from. Yeah. I've certainly been more screwed before. once or twice. I don't know. It's your chess life. I'm unfazed. I'm a little bit phased. It's not true. I'm actually pretty nervous here. Okay. But now what? Glass cow. You should have been made out of something more durable. Let me milk like some milk cows. They're cute, but they sat in it. What is this shit? Okay. Boom. And if you steal me, I'll steal you back. And then if you steal me again, you won't do that. I don't know if I agree with you. I don't think I can agree with you. Sorry. It's boom, then boom, and then I'll be here. And it's unpleasant, sure, but I'm not lost. And then my queen will see. Let me just gallop. Go ahead and gallop. It's scary, but I don't see how it's bad either. Could look out for some other tricks, but I don't see where they would come from. Oh yeah, and I didn't even count that knight in my defense of this pawn would. If you're going to damage my structure, I mean, I've got another defender. That's when you take first. What do you want from me? You want to live your entire existence and be a bad chess player? It's allowed. You can be a bad chess player if you want to be. What are you doing? What are you doing? Wait, did I just miss? No, okay. You have a pre-move, you degenerate. You degenerate. Oh man. That's funny shit. Move. Out, I say. I need you to leave. We're playing fast as shit. Son of a bitch. Really now. Thanks. I gotta play faster. I gotta wake up. Damn. Well. Yeah. Still do it. It's a bad game here. Bad game. I'm playing too damn slow too. What'd you do? God damn it. That remainder clock. Well, not even looking at that game would do no good to. No attention to the clock. Give yourself a chance. All right, the E-knight's got to move probably. Fine. All right. Yeah, fair. No, it's not. Because then you'll have to take here first. I can also play here, but then there, and then you're gonna take my pinned horse. I don't like that much. Okay, but no, because if you go here, then I'm forking stuff, and I'm gonna win the game. So that was a bad decision. It was a very bad decision by Hazini one. I lock back in. Very poor time management. Because I'll fork you either way. And hashtag get forked. Well, just looks awful. Okay. So let's move your stuff. If I could just wiggle your pieces just a hair. I just want to wiggle them. I'm not a monster. Just here to wiggle your chess pieces. Hmm. What are you doing? You're a suspicious bastard. Don't know how to handle people like you. Good move. You're up one? How did this happen? How sad is this? Jackass. This is bad. Because then I'll move it, then I'll at least get this pawn. Gosh. What'd you just do? Huh? What? Where's your light bishop? Is it one of those? Am I in one of those memes? Am I being pranked? Where the light bishop is 10 miles away, being strangled by a rattlesnake, sinking in quicksand, in someone's Dorito bag. Hey, didn't you see this? Like, no, it's in the fucking Sahara Desert. So I didn't see the bishop. Oh, well, checkmate. What's happening right now? Oh, it was all part of your plan, huh? Sure it was. Sure it was. Dude, what are you thinking? Because first, I'm just going to gallop. And your checking squares are non-existent, so I'm going to gallop. And now that I've galloped, I'll begin my thievery. What is this nonsense? And who knows how good I am at chess? I mean, you would if you play me over the board, which is about 1600, low 1600s over the board rating. But one person plays good, one person plays bad. My brain gets going. I forget I have 10 seconds left on the clock. I play bullet chess in a 10-minute game. Online chess is about controlling our impulses. If I ruin my health with another sugar cookie, my 36 sugar cookie in 12 hours. What are you doing? What are you doing? A mystery to me, man. It really is. Yeah, yeah. Gotta change my answering machine now that I'm alone. 'Cause right now it says that we can't come to the phone. And I know it makes no sense, 'cause you walked out the door. But that's the only way I hear your voice anymore. It's ridiculous. It's been months, but for some reason I just can't get over us. Man, I'm stronger than this. Yeah, enough is enough. No more walking around with my head down. I'm so over being blue, crying over you. And I'm so sick of love songs, so tired of tears, so done with wishing she was still here. Said I'm so sick of love songs, so sad and slow. So why can't I turn off the radio? I don't trust this at all. At all. At all. Zero is how much I trust this. I mean, shit. This is terrible. Not even going to try. Okay. Well, why should I care if you don't? Do we need to do a couples therapy? I'll do it. In fact, I'm so serious about self-improvement, healing, ensuring my kids don't grow up in a split house, that I will negotiate couples therapy into the prenup. It's funny because I'm serious. He loves me so much that, look, what'd your husband do for you? What did he do? He bought me a ring. Every year for our anniversary, he has a carrot. What Dayton do? I was skeptical of him the whole time. I always thought you could do better. Not only did he get me a prenup, but in the prenup, he actually combined it to save paper because he cares about the environment. But in that prenup, he explicitly explained that we will first have to go to couples therapy for this long, and then we can give up. Well, my husband just cheated on me with his trainer at the gym. How thoughtful is Dayton? Yeah, I know. I love that prenup arrangement. Just give me time. Just give me time, ladies. What did I just do? Am I talking shit and blowing chest leads again? I'm telling you, I do that. All right. Let's quit screwing around here. But that's love right there. Not just a prenup in case we don't work out, but you have to sign that you're committed to X amount of couples therapy before we exercise a prenuptial arrangement. Don't say all men are the same. Yeah, I don't care what you do. It's your life. Okay, you don't have any ways to set up stalemate traps. So I'll be emerging victorious. Great. You're good games to study here. See, I didn't even notice that though until I called it out after the fact. But you gotta be looking at this shit because then I have another target. So boom, boom, but then boom. I'm not locked in. I'm locked in. I'll get there. That's a lazy move. Yeah. Sometimes I'm analyzing to actually get something out of it, and other times I'm just doing it so my brain doesn't get in that mode of going to the next game and the next game. And sometimes I just want to play chess for fun. I did plenty of things when I was young because I had to, mainly baseball and football. I'm the male Nemo. She's funny as shit. I like her. She's witty too. Which they're all witty, but they don't all express it outside of the chessboard. She's witty. I think it's in part she cares a little bit, like she wants to help others. But I can't tell if Nemo. I don't know what her real name might. Or is it Nimsko or something? I follow all the chess people about equally, from the big time grandmasters. There's very few that I follow more than others, but I'm pretty aware of the basics on all of them, from Magnus Carlsen to non-professionals, which I guess Nemo's a professional, to the streamers who are just really good, to strong American players. Like I bumped into, I bumped into a lot of them. I got Alice Lee's autograph. Jennifer Yu was in town. It was a few years ago because I wasn't working at the time because I was going to all the events and she happened to be there. And I know who they all are. I'm like, damn, that's Jennifer Yu. It's pretty cool. She was nice and said hello. Told her I got into it during COVID, I think. But I never bother them because if I see them at my tournaments, they're probably prepping or in between their rounds. I understand how stressful chess can be, so I don't want to like fangirl people. But I know a little bit about all of them, probably where they went to college. about a little bit about their personal lives that they've covered it on streams. Possibly how they learn chess if they've been open about it in interviews. But Nemo is, I don't know what her peak rating is, but she's seemingly more interested in. Okay, so that's removed. So the queen has to remain there. How do I move your queen now? The pawn will be there. I can't move your queen. I can do it that way. No, the right way is this. That's the right thing to do. Definitely. Because your bishop can't move. I mean, that attacks anything. It doesn't matter at all. So your queen would have to take if you're going to take. I'm just a pawn. Become the tactician. But she got burnt out, and she talked about in many, usually clips. I don't know that she does full podcast lists. I haven't seen any of her. The pressure she faced to win, and her parents sound like the typical, like the stereotypical Asian parents. I don't know if they're all like that or not. I never had Asian parents. I wish I had, man. I'd be so fucking good at things. A little bit of OCD probably mix that with. Asian parents. I'd have been a machine. At anything I set my mind to. No offense to my mom and dad. I just wish you were not white. And I'll escape. There's many ways I can escape them. The thing is, I don't really want to commit my bishop at the moment. Let's do it that way. Should be fine. It's not going to be played. Or I could go there. No, I can't. Man, that's rough. But Nemo's experience with chess as a kid sounds like mine with physical sports, except for my dad coached me, and he was strict. I always had to be. If everyone was talking, I was definitely the one getting called out. But all my friends liked my dad. He was a good coach. He cared. Though I don't like physical sports. I certainly don't have any bad things to say, or I don't regret playing or anything like that. But it sounds like Nemo actually regrets and has some bad memories. Okay. I cannot fucking talk and play chess worth a shit. Damn it. Oh. Okay. Also, I know I have a problem. I wouldn't say I'm insecure, and don't ever tell men it's cool to be vulnerable, because that's a fucking lie. God damn it. Okay, your only checking square would be, okay, so you'd have here. So if I play here, your checks are here. And here, which is much less annoying than the bishop check. So I can come here. Then when you're there, I have to slide over. I gotta play there. I can't see it in full, but I have to do that. Accept this mess. And then when you set up the battery, I will move. You can go here. Hopefully I can run and not have to play it. Just be sad. Life's too short to be sad. The more I play chess, the more often I'm sad, man. Hashtag grow the game again. That's what I'm here for. Hope that inspired you. You have a pawn. Damn it. I don't really think so. Now I can get out of this mess, right? Can't I get out of this mess? Well, that's not going to do it, Dayton, because of here. So what, I have to play this? This is awful. Jeez. How am I playing so shitty? That would be the sleep deprivation. That would be what it would be. The fact that I can't go a single work shift without thinking about chess. Someone needs to drum me up, make me sleep. See, that's just so fucking lazy. I've been playing speed chess. I'm telling you, I get in that mode where ignorance like that's not gonna be punished, usually in blitz at my level or a bullet at my level, and so I'm just going fast and my brain's I'm telling you, I can't do multiple time control. I'm trash for months after sometimes. I need to play over the board only. If I just strictly play over the board, that would be the best for my development. See, I'm already about to make a move without thinking. This has to stop. I'll go to rehab. What is it? Shia LaBeouf, the Disney star. He was in Holes. I don't know how many Disney movies he was in actually. I get him confused with the Boy Meets World guy. which it's better if you're going to go with stereotypes, or you remember individual for one movie. It's better to do it with white people, and they had curly hair. They both had curly hair. So that's pretty weird. I'm not a person. I'm not an elite actor. I'm just a dude with curly hair to you. It's better than letting Gavin Newsom say all black people. It's better than what Gavin Newsom said. Racist bastard. What an idiot. That was hysterical, though. Yeah, all black people basically the same. And I got a 960 on my SAT, so I'm not racist. I'm just like you. What a fucking idiot. It's brutal. But that Shia Buff guy got in trouble. I guess he has drinking problems. And I'm thinking that kind of sounds relaxing. To be forced into treatment. No, I can't. It was my fault, but I have to be here. I have to get better. I have to sleep. Do that to me, but instead of drinking or shouting homophobic slurs at a bar in Mardi Gras, just make sure I rest because I play too much chess, and I will come back a changed man. Oh, you're going to prioritize things. You're going to find love. You're going to work on yourself and career more. No, I'm just going to be a better chess player after I've slept for a little bit. All right. Let's nab some palms. Lovely. This sucks. I'm gonna have a little center, which sounds like a fun time. This is my last I don't care game. That's not a good move. Huh. Okay. Why am I doing this shit? Why did I do that? Because I'm not even paying attention to the fact that there's a horse there yet to gallop. I'm telling you. I don't know if I need to be a poster boy for chess. Anyone can improve anytime in their life. If I need to go to rehab or if I need to lead a class action lawsuit. What do you want, bastard? Okay. you're going to go that way or you're going to take my horse. Let's just control things from a distance. I've heard that's what bishops are good for. But that's certainly not their only purpose. Jackass. Let's go move. I can't move in a minute to defend this. It's probably fine. That knight can't go anywhere that creates problems for me in one move. That'd be interesting. I don't think so. Because you have to use a move for your horse to gallop. Which is why you can't take my pawn back. So don't I just get a pawn? God, what am I doing? Wow. I hate this game. No, you don't mean that. You don't mean that, Dan. You don't really mean that. I do. Yeah, I do. Sure do. How sad. Jeez. What do you want? Almost wish my knight were just out of this entirely. Just gives you one move to attack it. I'm done. I just hate this game so much. Screw it all. Man on misery. Good for you. Shit. It's bad. It's taking me 9 minutes to make a move. And the fact that I'm playing like crap means I should not play anymore. I figured that out all by myself. Yeah. Whatever, man. Not a good day for me. I was wanting to play some over the board. Didn't happen. I run my mouth about things that are my problem. Further destroy my opportunities. I've eaten 2 batches of sugar cookies in less than a day. And now I messed up my chest writing a little bit. Lovely. Just fucking end it. And I'm just trying to be sneaky, get some cheap wins. I don't want to play anymore. I guess I'm gonna go back home. Be a bum. Goodness. Come on, work for one game. You're gonna get my wrath, MMM 1987U. Did your mom name me that? She sounds as incompetent as you're gonna play. What do you say about my mom? Saying she didn't name you properly. It's like she used a random word generator. And that random word generator got drunk off tequila before spitting out your name. So you ended up MMM 1987U. Either your mom doesn't know how to work technology, isn't an independent thinker enough to name her own child, so she delegated that to a robot. And or the robot malfunctioned. So how else did you get that name? Oh, you just typed it in. That makes it better. I didn't use my real name or my favorite fantasy football name when I'm in a trash talking mode. I just named myself MMM 1987 for no fucking reason. It would be better to have a mom who's incompetent. My dad named me. Oh, sorry. Am I sexist for suggesting? See, I've wasted 40 seconds not even realizing it's my move. I can't tell jokes and play chess. I need to pick a different niche. or be a normal human. Get off social media. Find a woman to tolerate me so we can have kids together. Is that all marriage is to you, Dayton? I love my husband. I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. I guess it is. We're not designed to be monogamous. In the age of social media, here's how I look at it. Actually, here's how I look at marriage. My gramps was in a lawsuit around the time I was born. I won't go into details. I hate discussing any personal details that aren't just directly related to what I'm going through because nobody asked for me to be online. So anyone that's friends with me or my family shouldn't have to deal with my ignorance. But my gramps was involved in a lawsuit, and it was bullshit. Lawyer, I'm not anti-lawyers, but like I mentioned, they're going to win the case. That's their job. Their job is not to be nice, be ethical. Their job is to win the case. Their job is not to enforce the company's culture or company policies. Even is that illegal? What we did illegal. Well, you said to treat people with respect in your onboarding processes, and you tell the media you take care of your people. That's not the lawyer's job. The lawyer's job is to win the case. And they just were so cruel to my grandpa. Hardworking truck driver, and truck drivers are kind of one of the rare jobs, which is going away now because robots are driving trucks. Rare industries where you don't have to have a college degree, but if you work your ass off, you can still make a really good living, better than many who've got a college degree. I'm fortunate to have a college degree, but my gramps didn't go. And so hardworking truck drivers, they're honest, maybe a little bit too brutally honest. I can't talk and play chess, dude. I can't fucking talk and play chess. I wish I could, but I just can't. I hate it. But they lied about him, things that weren't even relevant to the case. Like, do you have an irregular heartbeat? Got my granny up there. Does he have an irregular heartbeat? Did you know Ron did that? Just trying to get him to catch him in any lie if he's nervous. Some people just trying to get good speakers, and they just messed with him. And my granny stayed with him, and they ended up winning, and it worked out good. Good shall triumph in the final judgment. But I don't think I would be an OnlyFans girl if I were a woman. If I were decent looking at all, I'd be a millionaire. I'd be working it, man. If I were a woman these days, I don't knock them for doing it. And I don't think women are. I'd say women are probably kinder on average. The worst women, they're a different type of evil. I think men just want what they want, and if you're in their way, they might fuck you. But some women, man, you look at defamation trials, and I know men defame women too, but it's a different level of just craziness. Like, why'd you do that shit? You just wanted to hurt him. You're not even getting anything out of this. You just wanted to hurt him. And men, like if they hurt people, they might be ruthless, but it's because they want to get where they're going. Not an ambitious way. It might be an evil thing. They want power. They want whatever. And they'll hurt anyone if you're in their way. But if you're not, like or dislike you, they'll leave you alone. Now the downside is that is men hurt a lot of good people. But if a woman like really wants to get you for some reason, even if you deserve it, it's a different level. The worst women are a different level of creative. And they think like the man, they just want his life over. But the vast majority of women, I would say, are kinder than men and care if someone lives or dies more as men. Look at the Naroditsky thing. People who are more emotional and more Kramnik needs to be punished. They're women. And that's a good thing. But still, in the age of social media, do I think you put like my generation of women, if you put them in my grandmother's, why did I call her my grandmother? My granny, I never called her that in my life, I don't think. But in my granny's shoes during that lawsuit where they're lying about her husband, it's looking like he might not be able to provide at least for a little bit. And he's injured. So if he doesn't win that case, you can't go back to what you were doing. You're gonna make a lot less money. It's gonna be hard for you if you lose that case. They're out. And I'm talking nice women with mild trauma or no trauma even from good families. They're deuces. Because social media has trained my whole generation, not just women. Grass is always greener. trade stuff because I can't tell stories and play chess. I need to quit playing chess. Grass is always greener. It's a more stressful time. So if you don't have a good financial situation or emotional state, people can talk about mental health. Again, the Narodisky, it's okay to ask. It's not okay. It's not okay to be hurting. It's not even okay to be attacked due to no fault of your own. As a man, it's not. And I've accepted that, so I don't consider myself unhappy. Except I'm losing another chess game, which is pretty unhappy. It's very unhappy. Be positive. We're staying positive here. Fuck off. Anyway, if I were to even consider a serious relationship, let alone marriage, I would have to find a woman, and I've got my problems. It's not like I'm just gonna have my choice. 'Cause I'm very, very opinionated and selfish with my time. But would she, if I were in that situation my gramps was in, just bullshit, they're not taking accountability for anything, they're lying about me, I'm hurting, is she gonna stay if she gets a better offer? Or even if she doesn't, is she gonna actively look for a better offer? If she's gonna actively look for a better offer, there's zero chance I'm doing it. But since it is social media, they can get approached from people in France. Wemby, the NBA star, can steal my girlfriend. I can't compete with Wemby. He's fucking 7'4", can dunk without jumping. So if I'm hurting, I'm defamed, I'm losing my money, AI takes my job, and Wemby comes along, do I think a woman would do what my granny did? And let's work it out. Yeah, let's work it out. Let's see what happens here. Let's stick with them, even though it's hard. Or she want to go hang out with Wemby. I'm telling you, almost every girl my age, they're going with Wemby, and I don't blame them. I'd fucking go with Wemby also. That's what's hard. I'm not sexist. I don't disagree with women. Just a weird time. And that's to close that. And I'm gonna actually try to focus on chess. I can't be giving rating points away like this. You gotta have some empathy for men. Don't tell men it's okay to be vulnerable, and do not be a mental health advocate. Do not. If your brother killed himself, I'm oh so sorry. I really am. My friend killed himself. And that led me to be a traditional mental health advocate for a little bit. And then I got through the 5 stages of grieving, and I realized that's stupid. It's not how life works. I just hate this. And now I'm just going to give you that pawn because I thought you needed it. But if for some reason I was convinced a woman would not leave in the situation my granny was in, of my generation, I'd probably just marry her even if she weren't physically attractive, because I don't think they exist. I don't think humans are, when you see the grass always being greener, when you see everybody being perfect, and you're wired that way from a young age, as my generation is, not just women, how can you expect a woman to do that? They're not going to. As soon as it gets hard, it gets really, really hard, they might stay because there's kids, because they don't want a divorce. But they're out. If they're not out, they're thinking about a better option. Let's say they stay for like religious reasons. I can't do this, I'll be shamed. Divorce is a sin. In their head, they're still out. I'm not doing it. Let's die alone. All right. Don't talk about your problems, especially as a man. Narodisky overdose is bullshit. I think I made some points about mental health. I'm 30 right now. God knows what I'm going to be like when I'm 40. I just sat inside and played chess since COVID. Since I have, it's a sunk cost. I chase sunk cost because I like to gamble. Let's quit talking and play a few decent games of chess. I try to be funny. I try to entertain on stream. But as soon as I start talking, I just forget about the game. And like that asshole. If you don't want to play me, you don't want to play people below your level, I get it. Change your settings. I'm pretty normal. I don't even talk that much. Meet me in person when I'm walking my dog or something. There's a few of my YouTube videos where it was impromptu. I met somebody at karaoke, or I was walking my dog before chess outside my apartment, and I met a girl who was um, getting signatures for a petition. And I listen. I can stay on topic. But when I play chess, man, my brain goes everywhere. I try to start telling a story. I get on 10 different tangents. I can't do it. So I'm gonna have to figure out something. But I can't play chess and stream. And if you enjoy it, you find me funny or whatever, okay, great. Because in order to be funny and focus on talking at all, I had to give my knight away for 2 fucking pawns, which is essentially me resigning. Oh, isn't my life hard? Nah. You don't have time. You must deal with my fork. I'll fork you real good, then I'll get my knight in the center. Try to eat that pawn at some point. Look at me strategizing. What do you want? And think about these things. I mean, think about moving the knight and being able to control. It's fine what I did, but I'm just not thinking. Because then if the knight's moved, or something like that, and if you stay with the knight, then here, and then, well, no, because my pawn wouldn't be there to support the bishop and pin anything. See, when you just play speed chess, you can hear me talking through shit, and you can tell, like, I kind of know how to play chess, but I'm way off in my calculations because I'm playing speed chess. So when I start to explain what I'm seeing or my plan, it's like, oh, that's pretty good, but there's one little detail that makes it incorrect. You can tell my brain's working in the right direction, but I've overlooked something because I've not been playing longer games where I'm calculating things. It's extremely unhealthy. All this is extremely unhealthy. Probably would have been better just to take the knight and load up on this pawn. Because anything you put here, all right, fine. That's exactly what I wanted you to do, duh. Okay, I can't target anything yet. So let's go here. Bastard. I don't love it. I want to be there anyway. And your knight, see, I think the knight's kind of useful. I wouldn't do that. But you know I'm going to overload this pawn. Huh? Like I said, you know I'm going to overload this pawn. And now I block you. I don't want that to happen. I don't want that to happen. I would move the king. Yeah, fine. I guess. I would play here. I probably should have played, or at least considered that. So I can use this bishop and you won't be targeting. If you're here, I'm here. I don't think so. I don't think so, my friend. Or can't do that. So here. Because now I have a target. When you see that pawn, I have to fix my back rank issues. So that should be good. And if you ignore me, I don't like being ignored, but you can't ignore it. Check, and then I can leave my rook back there, so we're good. Good position here. All right. You're wrong. So hit that pawn, and I'll defend my pawn. Similar to, I think it was the first game I played when I had the bishops, and the opponent had a little opportunity, but misplayed it, and allowed me to have a pretty easy draw. It's just the rook now. All right, most likely, I'm gonna get this pawn pushed far enough to where the rook has to take it, then I'll win this pawn. It's fine. Clown. Back in the winner's circle. And boy, it was a masterpiece, wasn't it? Rook and rook in games are so fucking complicated. No, yeah. And it's not that I wouldn't see these things. I'm telling you, I'm just in speed chess mode. Yeah. So how should you have handled that little sequence? Yeah, after I did lazy stuff again. So I shouldn't have played a5 before I had the rooks doubled. H5 is best. And that's what I mean by just making moves that maybe I'm not sure of, maybe I'm not familiar with, but I know they need to be played. Or I know that these don't need to be moved, but I'm just comfortable with it, and I'm probably going to win by having lazy plans like doubling my rooks. Just make different moves. You got to see different things. The goal should be to get better, not obsess over your rating like I do. I'd say it's easier for streamers to obsess over our ratings because we understand. I'm a streamer now. That most people who watch this, like good players and ambitious people, are not watching me play chess. No offense. Thank you so much for viewing if you're watching this. I couldn't do this without you. I couldn't do this with you. Doing craps at night. No one's helping me except for Casino. No one likes an unhappy streamer. So I'll give my gratitude to everybody. But the streamers understand we could get a big swing in online rating and not play well. We could just get a lucky streak of players who are slightly underrated, beat the shit out of them, and oh my gosh, how'd you do it, dude? It's hard work. It's hard work and passion. Thanks so much for asking. But no luck. Yeah, it's all luck online. So you want to just play more and more. So, oh, how'd you do that? On a big podcast. Maybe C Square's going to invite me. Look at my rating. But the bad news is you don't get better. You're not thinking about improving. So your goals actually improve. Don't really treat chess how I treat chess, man. Oh, lazy bastard. When I play online chess. All these moves, there are things to consider. There are definitely things to consider. But until you get to a pretty good level, you're not going to get punished consistently for my laziness. I would push it, yeah. See, and I was thinking about that knight, which I'm not even paying attention to the fact that my queen's protecting it. And when I get like this, I'm just kind of remembering where the pieces are. But when I get in a situation like the queen is usually not in the corner, especially this early, I forget about it because I'm not locked in and I'm not rested. So I might remember where a lot of things are because the knights are always scattered across the board. The bishops are always, they're not always, but it's much more likely the queen's going to not be in the corner. Be much more likely for a bishop or a knight to end up somewhere that it might not usually be because they're going all over the place early than for a queen to be in the corner. So I forget that I put it there. And I'm not aware enough to be using my brain like over the board. I'll know where everything's at. Even if I like go for a walk or get some water. Over the board, not but over the board. I'm locked in. I drove there. I would get my mind right on the way there a lot of times. That's gonna happen first. Where's your horse go? I can't do anything to him. Not to see my horse. My queen will still be there anyway, so let's just go. Now, you would take it, and then I have a horse to target also if you want to go after my horses. It would be a stampede. I'd like to add, I opened this by criticizing the Neiman blacklisting. It's an absolute blacklisting. It's an absolute joke. I mentioned I have the right to have an opinion and still be very high on St. Louis and all the things they do. I totally disagree with that ban. And if your goal is to grow the game, you're going to want to not do that stuff because it makes you look like elitist. It's an uglier thing for a brand or a sport when you don't just do it and own it. And we banned him, even if you came out and said, we banned him because, no, see, I don't think you would do that. We banned him because of political reasons. You're not ever going to say that. That would be a shock if people just were honest about overly honest about their reasons. But it would be better than trying to make up reasons or even telling the truth, which is a lot of top players don't trust him or like him. But it is not a good idea to ban him and then say he did something in the hotel, unless you're going to ban everyone who did something. Still, it is a brand or a club's right to invite whoever they want. I wouldn't call it the American Cup if you're not going to have the best players in America, whether you like or dislike them. It looks very political and elitist and every reason that people stay away from chess, basically, that you need to overcome. But it is their right to do so. So when I give my opinion, I'm not criticizing anyone or any business. I just wouldn't do it if it were me and you're not going to accomplish your goals. I'm not saying I have all the answers or that I'm always nice or don't need to watch my mouth sometimes. I'm saying I can have an opinion, and that's very bad to do. But I still support every business or person's right to ban someone. In the case of chess.com, I didn't disagree with I do disagree with the ban at the time it happened and involving yourself in over the board affairs. That's not your company. That's not your right to do so. But as far as that goes, they can have whoever on the platform they want. They can block me. They never will, because if you're growing the game and you start blocking anyone who disagrees with you, you're going to have no business pretty soon. They certainly can. But though it is their company and people can decide who they want to have on and not, it does limit you in terms of your credibility and your genuineness. But what you can also do, you can ban Neiman, sure. I wouldn't be throwing around America in the name of your tournaments. You kind of, because America is not yours. So if you're going to use the word America and claim to be the chess capital of America, now we're getting outside of the it's your club, do what you want with your club argument, because now you're involving a country, which is more than just you. So if you want to have like the St. Cup, it's not only an invitational for your club, but you're not involving other things. It's your club founder's name, which I've heard great things about that guy, especially for a billionaire. At the end of the day, it's just better to invite people and agree to disagree if you have to. But what is this shit? What are you doing? Oh, stop talking before I blow another lead. Yep. For a war. That's interesting. So what? I go here. You have to go here, and then I fork, probably. Because otherwise, you're gonna. That looks good. I guess if your knight comes, yeah, I like that more. So let's go there. What does he has? Clown. Oh, shit. Really? So I'm missing everything. You can do that? Let's see. See, I'm not sharp. So here, I know I'm going to win, but I need to have the best. I'd better have the best plans. 97 check. Okay. King H8. Yeah, so it's giving me a good sign. That's perfect. Or no, I gave that a good. But it was going to give that a better rating if it would have. I don't understand. Didn't it rank this ahead of it? Did I dream that up? Rook F7. Yeah, no, Rook F7. How on earth is that better than 96? How on earth? So you got to be careful turning with engines too. That doesn't really make sense. Because to form good habits, even when you're winning or if you're losing, I try to play the best moves. Or you'll get a brain like mine, which is slowly working its way out of speed mode and back into calculation for longer games. A lot of games online aren't going to be close, and the shorter the game, the more likely it is to end in a tactical shot. So you need to form habits that will serve you well when you go over the board and actually have to grind out a game. I heard Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills explaining why he thinks a lot of the best quarterbacks in the league right now in the NFL didn't come from Power 5 conferences. I'm sure there are more quarterbacks in the NFL who are starters that came from Power 5 conferences than any mid-majors, of course. But Josh Allen's point was you would expect that almost all the starting quarterbacks would have been blue chip recruits, like what's his name, Ty Sampson from Alabama, getting recruited. Fernando Mendoza is a bit of an exception because he was underrated out of high school. But once he got his opportunity, there was no question the kid's a good player. So he's a Power 5 guy now. They were just wrong on him early on, but they figured it out and he got his shot. A little late, but you think of Josh Allen, even like Patrick Mahomes, he was at Texas Tech, which is a Power 5 conference, but Texas Tech isn't a traditional powerhouse necessarily. But he had to learn how to win games because he wasn't at Alabama or LSU. No, it was Joe Burrow. It was Joe Burrow that was saying that. Joe Burrow was talking about Josh Allen and other quarterbacks who didn't come from the very best SEC or Big Ten schools because Josh Allen's games were always close. He didn't have as much talent around him as Burrow had at LSU. So you have to grind out games, which translates to the NFL better because you're not going to be so much more talented than the next team like in college. It was Joe Burrow talking about it. And I would say that's probably a good assessment. I don't see how you could disprove the reason more mid-major quarterbacks end up being pretty good quarterbacks in the NFL than what scouts project is, like Joe Burrow said, they've had to learn how to win. Every game is close. If you're at LSU or Alabama on their best years, you're smoking 90% of your schedule. You never have to compete. The backups are in, so you don't get injured by the second half. And then the counter argument to that, of course, is, yeah, but how do they fare against the best competition? If you're playing at Wyoming, you're not playing the very best 5-star recruits in the country like at Bama. Even if you're blowing people out, at least you know how they fare against good competition. But if you get it right on those mid-major guys, yeah, they actually were just undervalued. But now on the right side, they've learned how to compete. In online chess, when you see how all these games end, a lot of times it's not close because it's a shorter game. you're going to play online chess, you got to do it the right way. Otherwise, it will happen to where you develop bad habits. When you play over the board, you won't want to fight till the end. And even if you're better, more talented, have played longer, play too much online, you don't do it right, you get in the habit of expecting games to end early because of a mistake or a tactical sequence. You'll get your ass woken up by a decent over the board player, not even a good one. The Black's already in a little bit of an uncomfortable situation here. Because you got to think, like, let's say 1, 2. I have 1, yeah. But now I'm pinning the knight. If you come and defend it, I'm attacking here. So it's just very unpleasant for you already. And the fact that you made that so quickly is a problem. It's a problem. No one's working. And then your bad influence is on my chess because I don't want to work either. And I don't need to work. If I don't want to work, but you make me work, I'll still get better. Little creatures of habit, got to be careful. And this is the top 0.1 percentile on the platform. Are you shitting me? I'm telling you, I know 1800s over the board, which are better than me. Who would play at a 2300 level or better right now if they just didn't spend so much time at the club and they played half the amount of time they spend at the club online? They would be 2300, 2400. But my blitz numbers before I shatter my rating because I got a problem. I can't stop playing this shit. My blitz rating was better than theirs on chess.com barely. I play too damn much. I just figured out how to win online games. But these types of moves, these are moves you think about. It's not a move you just make over the board. You'll get killed by a decent player. It's a fine move. It's an option, but you should be looking at the others. But I find these moves about every time, even in speed chess, about every time. Now, what a good player would do is they would keep me out of positions where I can find those, and it's real tactical, where I'm pretty good. They would keep me from situations where, yeah, Dayton's finding these. I see that. They can dictate the game in different ways because I'm going to see these. I'm going to see that, and I'm probably going to even get it right before it happens. There are times where you just have a feel, but you don't really know how it's going to play out, and you make the right moves because you have some talent or intuition. And there are times where a good player actually sees exactly what's going to happen. And that was one of the rare times. I think that's what separates me right now from a lot of people that are like a tier above me over the board. So I got a pretty good feel, and a lot of times I'm correct, but I don't have the ability when it gets kind of complicated. Not like professional athlete level complicated, but it's pretty complicated for an amateur. I feel like if they have time, they see the whole thing. What is this shit? Whereas I might be right a lot, and I saw part of it, but I did not see the full thing. And maybe a kind of insignificant part of that line that I saw was the move was not correct. Like I might have had the right idea, but I didn't see the moves. Like good players, now they've seen the moves. Okay, what do we do here? Let's not be committing our pawns. Let's go ahead and do that. See if you want to double your pawns. Oh, that's smart because I never would have dreamed that you have 2 points of pressure on this pawn threatening checkmate. You tricky bastard. That's why you didn't use your queen. Wow, you doubled the pawns because I would never see one of the cheapest, laziest checkmating attempts in the book. Wow, did Mikhail Tal come back to life and train you himself one-on-one? How are you so good at chess? Clown. Okay, so right now, probably just steal it. If you come here to pin stuff, I'll go here. You can have a pin, and I'll come here. Okay, I don't mind to relinquish my castling rights at all. Go ahead. Okay. Did I just completely miss that? Yeah, because I can't run there. Shit. Where's not a double check? Double check my king has to move and it can't capture this way because the rook. So I need to do this. Huh. Right. Yeah, important decision here. I agree. See, but you don't want the queens to trade. Queen trade almost becomes good that I didn't get to castle. Okay, so I only have, what, one move? Two moves. Protects, and then there protects. If I go here, your queen can't check and attack my knight. Okay. So here could happen. I'm not gonna really get that pawn easily anyway. So we probably need to go here. And you're at least 1, 2, 3 moves from your rook being able to pin my queen. So let's do that for now. Probably make a move like this to be safe. Yeah, this isn't good. And it's really tempting here. Not that it's always wrong to push a pawn so your king can breathe. And again, it's not always wrong. Anytime you're pushing pawns in front of your king, if you can avoid it, it's great. Even if you made exceptions, you didn't castle. You don't want to be pushing too many pawns. And while both queens are on the board, it's even more important to have some protection or options, flexibility in your protection. Yeah, I like that move. That's a good move. Don't blame me at all. But I like this move also. I still like that move. Because if you play here now, not only can my rook see, my bishop could be the one to support. But you're not going to play that move because my queen would take. What are you doing? So I can chase your queen off the dark squares. And then I can block this pawn. Now if I do that though, then you can control from here. And that sucks. This is an important move. So now I'd be more likely to make a move like this because you're going to get that in. I can't keep you off the dark squares, which is bullshit. If you go here, my knight can gallop, which it will go there. So let's leave your queen there. That way you have to use a move to respond to me. Should you choose to play there? Yeah. Okay. So I'll get one move to be free, which means you can't take that. Okay. Where's the pawn at? Oh, man. Oh, my God. See, this is when you need to not play. I didn't even remember that pawn was fucking there. That's bad. See, I'm so focused on this pawn. You got that pawn been sitting there forever. Here we go again. All right, locked in. Give yourself a chance here. Forced. Here. Okay, so sack. And that can't help. Boom. Cut. There. So now I'm here. You can't use your horse. So mate. That seems right. Yeah, good job. Well, no, not good job. I mean, I'm saying that I was going to mess you up. And those games are that's such an adrenaline rush, man. It's like a roller coaster for normal people. Roller. Yeah, it really is, though. For people that do normal shit with their lives, especially in adulthood. I have to imagine that's what they feel like. If you are going to be lazy, though, Everyone has cheat days in their diets. Hopefully not in your relationships, but at least in your diets. So my version of a cheat day: eat some Cheetos, grab some Pepsi, pizza. No workouts. Review the game though. Review the game. I want to go on the same roller coaster, but this time I want to ride it backwards. Yeah, I want to play a rapid game of chess with stupid sacrifices. And even when I guess right on the sacrifices, I'm going to not carry out the line properly. So that way the game ends super fast. What a rush. Let me start streaming on Twitch. Almost 31. 25, we need to start being more mature, especially considering COVID lockdown. If you're 25, you got 5 more years. Take some risks. Don't do what I did and be naive. Try to make corporate America work if you're not built for it. But at 30, it's like, okay, did your risk pan out, or are you just a child? If you're 31 and you haven't got anything to show for it, which I made a few sales on TikTok Shop and stuff, but I'm not going to sustain myself with it. If you're 31, your risk didn't pan out. I still think it's appropriate. I don't have a problem with it, but most of society, it's like it's over. Go. You're definitely an adult now if you didn't think you were before. But I want to try still. No, you're 30, or you're 31. So let's see what happens. And I'm the type where it wouldn't be surprising if you wake up tomorrow and there's a YouTube video because I made it 2400 and I streamed it. He's not cheating. He's just crazy. That's pretty good. And I could make it 2400 as an adult who didn't play as a kid, or I might damn well just quit. There's no way he's going to quit. He plays way too much. He plays all the time. He's not going to quit chess. Well, he sure did. How did he do that? Well, seriously, how did he do that? He played a million games and then he just crickets. I'm a weird individual. Pretty good self-control as long as I don't really get into it. I completely stop. What are you doing, bro? Well, what are you doing? No, seriously, I'm asking a question. Okay, so here you want to go here and use the battery. Comes with a check. So I can't take it. Else I get mated. I have to slide up. Which is still fine, right? That's still the best move. And here I still have it covered. So until you take something, which will allow me to slide, I'm in good shape. Now while that's there, I could move my shit. But then you can sack. All right. What are we doing here? That seems like the way to do it. But see how much I just play off feel? I mean, I don't know what I'm doing. Or I can try here. It's probably a little bit better. Here or here. Thing is, here I can't get back to help. So that's probably the right move, or the best move. then I can take, and then I'm back here. That's got to be right. It's either that or the first thing I looked at, but I'm taking too much time, which was G5, and then using my king to slide out. C. Nah. What? Okay, look at that. Boom, boom. Has to be there. Let me check, and I don't have space. No, I do have space. Shit. Forced. Check. Here. Check. I'm fucked. God damn it. Stupid game. What am I doing? The right thing. Relax, Dayton. I need to go on Zoloft. Is Zoloft for antidepressants, or is it the one that just slows you down? I don't know. I need something that slows me down, but then I wouldn't play as good at chess. So I'll just be a little bit on edge. A little bit, what is it? Tilted? Is that what the streamers call it? Is tilted? Okay, come up with a plan now. Let's get connected like Suddenlink. I don't mind to leave that pawn isolated, actually. Especially if the queens can somehow get traded. Yeah, fine. Your knights are just controlling everything, though, which sucks a lot. Got him that night. Because if you get that knight there, will I allow it to get my knight there? I think so. Then you're going to be able to pin it. Look out for sacks here. So I'm no longer controlling. Huh? You're awfully quick with that. What do you see that I don't? You bastard. That'd be it. Okay. That's why at least consider that a move like that. So now you have here. So let's go ahead. No, backwards move's a little bit passive, but it's probably fine. I just ruled that out. How else can I defend my shit? That or some type of weird rook lift, and I don't see how that would work. I guess I have to do that. Now, if the queen moves, important for me to recognize. It's probably a good move because it blocks the queen check, and if there's a queen check, then it gets real hairy because... Huh? All right. Didn't I just say that? Didn't I just say that? I did. I was looking out for sacrifices, and then it fucking happened. Jeez. And now I'm at 56 seconds because I'm running my mouth. Going to rehab. I hate this game. A lot. I should have done the first place instead of up. Just don't do stupid shit. Just don't. Why do stupid shit? There's no reason to be doing stupid shit. I don't even need to review. I understand what I did. Come on. Nah. Don't want to be pushing pawns. Don't want to do that. Okay. You're going to castle short now? Hmm. I wonder if one's even many rants about the American Cup. Not getting invited. All right. I don't know that I agree with you. So he's getting invited to other country stuff. What are you doing? What are you doing, dude? This is a position where rook lifts are basically automatic. Rooks are going to get lifted. You initiated the bullshit. I'll be finishing it. You want to play here, which is a fine move. Damn it, Dayton. Gosh darn it, that's so frustrating. I'm not counting. Not counting. I got some annoying tricks here, though. To get real clever here. Let's just try some stuff. Beat anyway. Can't do that. Okay, now we go back. Be careful with that, though. That's the right way to do it, I'm sure. Okay. Gotta go. No, my pieces are kind of sore to keep my king safe, though. Yeah, who cares, right? That's right, I do. I'm the one that cares. Forgot for a second. Next, and you'll pin me. You bastard. Yeah, I'm hosed. Good job. Damn it. I don't have any pawns to add pressure to it, though. Okay, so you're going to go there. If you could have taken that pawn, that would have been kind of interesting. It would have been very interesting. Now I've got no tricks. Shouldn't say I don't have any tricks. I don't have much. Don't have a lot going for me here. That's not very fun. Until I gets traded, the pawn's passed. So. Yeah. Jackass. All right, I'm going to sign off. We're hanging around 2100. I'll get some rest. Shadow Records. But the questionable life choice is too much. Damn, it's hard sometimes. Really difficult. You make moves like that. And then the move in itself is just an accuracy. Then you misplay it. All right, I'm out.